Man at the movies. I went to see a movie last night with my mother and her best friend and my little brother. My little brother is 12 years old, quite small for his age and gets scared easily. We sat in the far back row on the end, with the exception of one seat separating us from the aisle. A very fidgety man occupied that seat. Halfway through the movie, it was the movie Godzilla. My little brother, who was sitting next to my mom and the strange man, told my mother he was scared. My mom attempted to calm him down, but my brother then said he wasn't afraid of the movie, but rather the creep next to him. The strange man was shaking the entire movie, hands on his head shaking as if he was saying no to someone. Every 1 to 2 minutes, the man put his hand into the side of his jacket, as if reaching for something. But then he quickly calmed himself down, saying to himself that it wasn't time yet, and repeating the word no over and over again. My mother's best friend decided to switch spots with my little brother to separate them. After the switch, the man leans over for a good portion of the movie to look at my brother with no expression on his face. We have never experienced someone so outright with their creepiness. With each reach into his jacket now, he began to smile, smirking at first, and then a full-blown toothy smile. We switched seats when he began smiling and staring and finished the movie. Afterwards, reporting the strange man to the theater staff. Scariest movie-going experience. So in my town, there is a small 5-screen non-profit indie theater which does a lot of first-run independent films and that sort of thing. The theater is usually pretty quiet and empty during the week, except for 1 or 2 employees and a handful of regular patrons. I'm a pretty pretentious guy, so I end up at this theater a lot more than I do at the Regal across town. Anyways, this one evening, a few months ago, my girlfriend and I go out to this theater to catch a movie. Like I said, this place is usually pretty quiet, so we didn't think much of it when we walked into the theater and only saw one other person. That is until we walked up the aisle and saw that this rather obese man had surrounded himself with a group of troll dolls. Usually something children play with until they're about 5 and then give up on. Except this man was clearly in his mid to late 30s, about 300 pounds and balding. We don't really say anything to each other, but quietly move down to the very end of a row, where we can keep him in our peripheral vision. He is 2 rows behind us, and roughly centered in his row. We live in a town somewhat notorious for bizarre townies, so we were a little worried but not too creeped out at this point. The movie starts, and all is well and good for a while until we hear talking and a couple laughs. Remember now that we're only 3 people in this whole movie theater. I take a quick glance back to see if maybe I've missed seeing someone else enter the theater. Nope. This man is talking and laughing with his creepy little troll dolls all laid out on the armrest around him. At this point, I'm sitting a bit on edge and glancing over fairly regularly while still trying to watch the movie. He quiets down eventually, and so I focus more on the movie. Until he stands up and shuffles into the aisle. I swear, at the moment I was sure that it was all over, and this man was going to murder me and serve me as an appetizer for his trolls come dinner time or something. I keep him squarely in my peripheral for the next 20 minutes until he goes back to his seat and resumes talking to his dolls. Time goes by, and nothing else really happens. Credit rolls, and my girlfriend and I sit there for a few minutes after waiting for the man to pack up his trolls and leave. The credits are still rolling as we step out into the aisle, turn the corner to go to the exit, and almost run into him standing right there. We avoid any eye contact, keep walking, and walk as fast as we can without running, until we reached the car. I don't know if there was ever any danger or anything. He never made any threatening moves, and for all I know, he's a perfectly safe but mentally ill man. That said, I don't even remember what movie we went to see because I was so terrified of this guy. Movie theater hooded guy. I've lived a pretty vanilla life and haven't had too many creepy encounters that would be worth posting. But there is one that I can remember, and it was pretty chilling. In South Florida, we have this really pretty outdoor mall that is honestly one of the nicest malls here. It has a few restaurants and a movie theater and is considered perfect for a date night. I barely ever go because it doesn't have too many of the shops that I like, but I figured it would be perfect for a romantic night out. Anyways, this was about 2 years ago. It was mid-October and my boyfriend and I were going to said mall to watch the movie Sinister for like our third date. Now for some reason that I don't remember, we went on a Sunday night. During the day, the mall was packed, but I'm guessing since it was a random Sunday out of the month, shops close early, and the mall was relatively empty come nighttime, except for a few people left at the movies. Our theater was completely empty. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. There were 3 other people in our theater, besides my boyfriend and I, 2 girls and 1 guy, sitting alone in the back row wearing a hoodie. I don't immediately judge. People go solo to the movies all the time, but for some reason, I was getting a pretty weird vibe from the guy the entire time. I didn't say anything to my boyfriend about the guy giving me bad vibes because I figured we had just started dating and I didn't want him to think that I was a paranoid freak. But once the movie started, that changed. I could feel this guy's eyes burning through the back of my head. I just knew he was staring me down. I guess nerves and too much water had my boyfriend going to the bathroom every 2 damn seconds, so I would be left alone with Creeper and the 2 girls who were sitting in the front on the other side. I shit you not, every time my boyfriend would get up, this guy would move up a row, not 2, not 3, just 1 row. This happened like 3 times, until I finally told my boyfriend what was happening, and that he had to hold his pee from now on. Creeper never moved up again. Movie finishes, and when we leave the theater, it's around midnight and the mall is deserted. No theater employees anywhere to be seen, and all the stores are locked up. The 2 girls disappear, and the creepy guy is right behind us, eyes still fixed on my back. At this point, my boyfriend was well aware of the situation and was prepared for anything. I, on the other hand, just wanted to get to the car. Ultimately, I chose flight instead of fight, and we hauled ass to the car. Lo and behold, Creeper hauled ass right behind us. I must have let out the most blood-curdling scream, because as soon as I did, 2 theater employees and a security guard turned the corner, and the guy stopped chasing us. I didn't even wait around. I was terrified, so we got in the car and booked it out of there. A few weeks later, though, we went back to the movies on a Saturday at regular hours and saw one of the kids who came with the guard. He had no idea who we were since we didn't stay and chat that night, but once we told him and thanked him, he let us know what happened. Turns out, the 2 other girls in the theater that night had noticed the guy follow us out the theater and told the 2 employees, who then told security to keep an eye out. They heard my scream and pinpointed where we were. He said that the guy was detained and the cops were called, who then found that the guy was carrying rope and pepper spray in some inner pocket that he made himself for his hoodie. The guys gave a statement and left, so that was the last they heard of the guy. I honestly wish I could have thanked those girls. I am 100% sure that their quick thinking saved our lives. It's so scary to think that the guy was so focused on me. I mean, I'm extremely glad and grateful that everything turned out the way it did, and that he didn't follow them, but it was just kind of odd that he went after us. My boyfriend is a big guy, he's 6 foot and 240 pounds, and this guy wasn't big at all. It makes me feel like he saw something in me, and it was something that he liked, and just didn't care that I was with my boyfriend. Gives me chills just thinking about it. After that, I listen to my gut way more often, and I always do the same for someone if I feel like they are in danger. Better to look like some paranoid crazy than to feel guilty about not helping out.